Welcome to my Bajerski YouTube channel. Welcome to the Pure Energy Healing Academy. Today we're going to talk about Moldavite oil and the difference between Moldavite oil with a piece of Moldavite in and Moldavite oil without a piece of Moldavite in, which is on my website markbajerski.com. So the reason why I decided to continue with the Moldavite oil with complicated with the slice is because people really like the slice inside. So obviously the price of Moldavite has shot through the roof, so those prices what once were are no longer, so they've had to go up according to how much they cost us as a company. Now what's the difference? My Moldavite oil is down here, and the Moldavite oil that I've used over these past months, years, is it years now? I ain't got a clue anymore. When I first started adding Moldavite into the Moldavite oil, which is specific oil that works on a level of high vibration, and the only, for me, the high vibration to connect to your higher self, spirit, to connect to those that are here to help us in this world, which is a great and interesting subject. One day I'll talk about that. Nature at its most powerful is, it has to be, there's no man-made substance that can ever touch this. And this is the kind of substance that we use in a gentle manner. So, a lot of people go off and take, mushrooms and things like that to try and get this hit. But for me, it's always been a process which is natural, organic and gentle, so that when you actually hit that nirvana energy, that energy that you feel on top of the world, and you feel inner peace, you feel connected, and all of a sudden throughout your day you're starting to see things and feel things like you've never felt before. You start to feel energy, you start to see energy. All of that was a very natural progression for me when I first started 2 decades ago. So the most important oil for me at that time was Palo Santo. It was a beautiful stick that people used to use, especially the shamans. I used to see them use it. I always found it was strange because it used to go out all the time and they had to light it all the time. So that was something that frustrated me at the beginning. But then I wanted to know a little bit more about Palo Santo. So I looked into it, and it is a sacred tree. It's protected, and it comes from Peru. So the more I looked into it, the more I started meeting different people who worked with Palo Santo, and they used to tell me some marvelous stories, some incredible shamanic, deep, powerful, connecting stories of the spirit world and of different worlds that they could connect to with this oil. So I was fascinated. So I started using it, not with any judgment. I didn't have any expectations. I thought I'll just try it because some people talk, and people like to talk big, but let me just try it. So I started with this oil and I started working with it. It's very, very potent. It's very beautiful. It smells. It's got a unique, sweet smell. It's beautiful. I love it. And then I started using a carrier oil. And the carrier oil was very gentle, and it would normally have been non-nut. So it would be, there was different forms, but anyway, grapeseed ended up being the one that I really liked best. So I mixed them together and start my work as a pure energy healer with the oil. So I wouldn't use it until I started working with it. So my intention went into the oil, and that intention was high frequency, high vibration, whatever you want to say, connecting to the spirit world, feeling the presence of spirit around me and working in that essence, but also working on a level of clearing my mind, clearing negative energy around me, all of these things that would prepare me for the initial connection to the higher self, to try and get to the consciousness through this spacesuit. So after I'd finished working with it, it might have been 3 months with this jar of oil. I'm always a little bit nervous because, you've spent so much time, you hope that there is something, but you try and clear that out of your mind and you've done your best. So I then started adding all the Moldavites in there, but each individual Moldavite I would work with for maybe an hour or 3 hours or a week, depending on what I felt. So then I'd get a bag of Moldavite, little tiny pieces, and work on them and then put them into the oil. So now I've got the oil that I want. I've taken all my other oils, which is my cleansing oil, which is my abundance oil, and my healing oil, and I would then put it into the very same oils. So I've got a mixture of basically over 60 years of oils inside there. If you know anything about my oils, I started these oils from my first mentor who had her oils for over 40 years plus. So these oils are over 60 years now. So every time I make a new oil, which I don't make anymore, I've got enough now, but every time I made a new oil, I would always put 3/4 of all the other oils. So then there's always got the memory of everything. So you've got the memory of purification, you've got the memory of cleansing, abundance, healing, sacred. You've got all these oils, right, all of them inside one. But the main oil and the main intention is what's important. So the Moldavite oil, which where are we? That's weird. Hey, you tried to trick me. I got 2 Moldavite oils without slices in, so I've just found it. So, where are you now? There it is. So this is the Moldavite oil with a slice. So what I do is I work with the oils and then I work with the Moldavite slices. So whenever I get Moldavite slices, normally from Maliclum, when I get them, I work on them for about 3 to 7 days, something like that. When I'm really happy with the energy of them and I feel they're strong and I feel the buzzing, I drop it inside one of these bottles and then I take the Moldavite oil with the Moldavites in and I take the oil and put it in here. And then I spend another about 6 or 7 minutes just holding it, working with it till I'm finally happy with that bottle. And then it goes on to Bajerski.com. So what's the difference now? Because there's no Moldavite in it. There is no real difference apart from a piece of Moldavite. And of course the price. So this now is the Moldavite oil. And like I said, predominantly it is the magical and mystical tree that is Palo Santo. Natural, all organic, pressed juice. The oil, the essence in here. So it's fantastic. So the question is, how do you use this oil now that you've got a bottle, if you've got a bottle? Well, for me, whenever I got the Moldavite oil, it meant I wanted to do some serious work. And serious work to me is always about deeper understanding of my life, of the future, of what is this world about, how can I understand this world better, what can I do to attune to my higher self, how can I connect to the spirit that lies within this spacesuit, and a way that I can disconnect from the tools that this body holds that sometimes holds me back, so that I can be in total balance and harmony with the me that lies within. Most of us don't actually really speak or connect to the real you. Sometimes we get brief moments of, oh, I just felt that. Oh my God, I know that. Oh, that's the real you. But the spacesuit, which drives us through the day, is limited to what we've been taught and programmed, and our computer storage system that again is very limited and only gives us so much information. Whereas if you disconnect from that and go into a meditation or a deep healing session, you find that you go into you are present with your presence. You're inside you, And that is where all the answers are, because you are all seeing, all knowing, everything, and ever will be, and everlasting. Everything that you are is beautiful, but most of us don't work on that level. Most of us work on this level, the senses that we see, but not the true spirit that lies within. So Moldavite is predominantly for that. It's one of the most powerful healing oils in the world, in my opinion. And I think just using it on your third eye is pretty powerful. On a healing session for yourself, again, using it on your third eye, temples, crown chakra, if you use it like I do, rub it here, help me see the truth. Rub it behind my ears, help me hear the truth. Help me speak the truth. Help me feel the truth. And these places are fantastic. One of the most beautiful things to do with my oils, especially the Moldavite oil, is rub it on your hands and breathe it through your nose. And the reason why is because there is such a beautiful balancing energy, such a connection energy to the spirit, to the soul, to the you, to the consciousness. When you breathe it in, it's almost like giving it a cleanse, a purification, an awakening. And like, oh, I can feel something overcomes you. And the only way I can describe it is that your chest, your lungs start to expand and you start to feel infinite. And it really is quite fascinating how Mother Nature can actually help us feel in a very balanced way, very powerful. So what do I use Moldavite oil for? Predominantly, if I'm doing a healing session on myself, I'll use this oil to connect. If I'm wanting to have answers to my journey, my path, my creativity, anything new that I'd like to know, I will always rub it on my third eye and just behind my ears and on my heart, and then just sit in a nice mode energy, comfortable, or lie down. Put music, background music like this on, which is free on Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. Just type in pure energy healing music, and there's no adverts, so you can just sit and just listen to the music like this and just be in the presence of you and try to connect to you, not to the brain but to you. And what happens is when you start to connect to you, you have a lot to say. You have a lot of information. You are all seeing, you're wise, you understand the future, as well as clearing your past and healing your burden. And when you go inside, you find that when you wake up from this beautiful connection, this place that you've been to, this peaceful place, whether it's for 10 minutes or half an hour, it doesn't matter if you don't set a time to it, because then you're already ruining it. Just sit and be at peace and see what happens. Be aware and just allow yourself to be. Most people you see struggle with the brain. The brain tries to take over and says what you're doing. You're not meant to be doing this. Get up and clean. Get up and do this. You haven't time to do this. And I found that the real power behind this Moldavite oil is it quietens the mind, if not shuts it up. And that's why I recommend it temples, third eye, crown chakra, and here, because you're dousing yourself with this energy that comes not only from the oil but the pure energy healing that I put into it. So it's a mixture. Anybody can put pure energy healing into anything. I'm not special. I just work hard to do it, and it's my job. So you can do it. So once you've put that, doused yourself with it, there's a beautiful purification moment where your brain kind of shuts off and goes to sleep almost. And that is, I think, one of the greatest healing properties that resides within Palo Santo natural pressed essential oil. So that's one thing. If you want to connect to the extraterrestrial, which is not the spirit world but other worlds, it's fantastic. Now, some people think that's crazy, but other people have written many books and have connected to this world and spoke about who they speak to, and it's possible, and you can, and it's fascinating. So this is an amazing oil to connect to extraterrestrial energy. Oh, do you think you're the only spirits in this world? Do you think the spirit world is the only spirit in this world? No, that's limited, that's narrow-minded. There are multiple places in this galaxy that hold multiple spirits of various types. you know, good, bad, difficult, challenging, you know, parasitic, all sorts of things. But what you're connecting to, and this is just a little bit of a hint, if you're ever doing this kind of work, make sure your intention is of the light. So whenever I did rituals, it's always intention of the light, always light. Oh, the light's a trap. Okay, right, see you later, mate. Take care of yourself. But the light to me is everything. When you wake up in the day, you have light. Light gives you everything you need. You see clearly, you feel stronger, it gives you life. When it comes darker, it's a different energy completely. So I always work with light beings, light work, light energy. It doesn't matter. I work with the light. My intention is pure love to come through. So that's something you can do. Always, you know, if you start worrying and fearing and thinking you're going to pick bad things up, well, guess what? Your intention brings whatever your intention is. So I don't see death, I only see life. I only see love and healing. I only see light. I don't see dark. I don't see they have no effect on me, and thus there's no effect. So you're basically putting your intention out there, which is powerful, man. It's powerful. Whatever your intention, I don't feel good today. Okay, well, your intention says that you don't feel good. You're telling yourself you don't feel good, and now you're going to be sick because you've told yourself you don't feel good. I feel amazing. Your intention out there makes you feel amazing and changes your whole essence of who you are to healing mode. So these are the things that make a difference. So that's it really. I could go on all day about Moldavite oil. I could tell you can use it at the bottom of your feet, which is fantastic. You can use it on your knees, which is also an amazing place to work. What do you mean? Well, these are PowerPoints, and for me to go into PowerPoints, it could take hours. But some of the best places to use it, in my opinion, when you're working on clearing, first of all, before you start the work, rub it at the back, round about your kidneys, okay? So up round here and then down to the base of your spine. Rub it on there, place both hands on there, and just take deep breaths and clear all the negative energy in through your nose, blow out through your mouth about 20 times. That's a great start, and then start to use it. So again, rub it on your hands, breathe it through your nose, blow out through your mouth, intention to clear out all the toxins and negative energy, so you're strengthening your body. Rub it on your heart so it strengthens your heart and beats and pumps and connects to your consciousness. Brilliant. Open you up, rub it on here, rub it here, rub it here, rub it here. Now you're awakening and strengthening. These are the things, but also, ultimately, also listen to you. There's no better teacher in this world. There's no better guide, because when you start to listen, then you realize that, hey, I don't need teachers. I am the teacher of my life. Who else better to teach you than you? Who else better knows about your issues, your problems, your weaknesses, your failures, your strengths, your gifts? You do. Your spirit does. So the intention is to connect to the real you. And once you've done that, boom, magic happens, and you then become the master of your life. I'll leave you on that note, guys. I'll put one link down below. No, I'll put two links below, that's all. One link will be for the Moldavite oil, and the other one will be for the Moldavite oil with a little piece of Moldavite in, genuine piece of Moldavite in. And it's up to you. Doesn't matter which one. In my opinion, doesn't make any difference at all. The Moldavite oil is equally as strong without the piece of Moldavite in, because they come from a jar filled with thousands of Moldavites in already, so that energy is already in there. I hope this makes sense today, and I'm just going to put an easy description, so you will always be able to find it, and it's going to say Moldavite oil. That's it. So you can always find it again to listen to this video again in the coming months or years. Okay? I think that's a good idea. I'm wishing you all a lovely day. Thank you so much for going to markbajerski.com, and please remember, if you buy any crystal off markbajerski.com, that will automatically be turned into a raffle ticket that may, at the end of the month, at the end of the 4 weeks, you may win this beautiful Buddhist monk painting, which is gorgeous. So I think that's great. Always nice to know. And that's it, guys. Take my heart and use it and work with it. Here, take it. Have a lovely day. I've got so much work to do. Next video, lapis lace. Ooh.